Hey guys, welcome back to Daily Roller. So it's been a very long time since I did one of these videos. To be precise, the last time was Memorial Day weekend. What if the Serpentine were never freed? But today I wanted to do another what if video, and we're going to be talking about what if the Great Devourer never existed. So yeah, we'll just start right away. The most obvious thing if the Great Devourer never existed would be that Garmadon was never bitten and therefore never turned evil. So that is the most obvious thing that is affected by the Great Devourer never existing. Because of this, I think it's safe to say that he may not have sought guidance from Master Chen, and therefore he wouldn't have met Chen or Klaus. Because of this, no one either intercepted Wu's letter to Misako, because Chen obviously wouldn't know who Garmadon was. And then, yeah, so pretty much Garmadon is not evil. Garmadon never met Chen or Klaus. Garmadon never signed Wu's letter to Misako. The Serpentine War would still go on as normal, with Chen manipulating both sides, and the Serpentine would eventually be sealed away. Difference would be, of course, is that the Serpentine would never use the Great Devourer to their advantage in the Serpentine War. Wu also trains Moro as normal, and Moro would go ballistic and eventually die. Then later, the Time Twins would betray the Alliance with, there was a theory that Chen manipulated the Time Twins, and that fight would also remain the same for the most part. But this is where things get different. After things settle down, Wu would marry Misako. The first period of Ninjago, the Serpentine War period, that period of action is considered to end after Garmadon and Wu fought, but since no one is evil, there is no fight. So I think it's safe to say Wu would eventually settle down and marry Misako, meaning that Lloyd Garmadon never exists. The next part is really confusing. Sambukai and the Skeletons are still a threat. It was implied heavily that Wu and Garmadon had battled Sambukai and put him in the underworld, so these guys are still a threat. But Garmadon is not controlling them. It is possible that Wu could assemble a ninja team to take down Sambukai rather than Garmadon. I would assume that Sambukai could be, searching for the golden weapons, as he did want the golden weapons for his own purpose. But other than that, we don't know what Sambukai would be doing. So it's not really correct to assume that Sambukai is going to look for the golden weapons. So we could just assume that Sambukai is up to whatever, he's up to whatever an evil scheme. And Wu assembles a ninja team in order to take down Sambukai. And this eventually would probably happen. Now, from there, seasons 1 to 3 never happened because the Serpentine would never be freed. Because since there is no Lloyd Garmadon and no one's evil, no one wants to be like their father and free the Serpentine, so the Serpentine would never get freed. And then all the Anaconda would die out, including Pythor, who would eventually starve to death and die. Now, enter season 4. Zane never died, so it's possible that the ninja would never attend the tournament. However, Chen could have other means of luring the ninja into his island for the plot of season 4 to commence. So we don't know what these other means are, but here's the thing: Lloyd doesn't exist, meaning an element is missing from the spell. But Wu and Misako could theoretically have had a kid with the power of energy, but we don't know. So either the story would end here, or we could go on assuming that Wu and Misako have a kid with energy. So let's assume that they do have a kid with energy. The tournament would commence and everything would go as planned. However, Pythor is dead, so the spell would wear off without the essence of a real Anaconda, since all the Anaconda are dead. And yeah, eventually the spell would wear off. But that probably would have taken a long time, so it's possible that the Anaconda could have already conquered all of Ninjago by then. But yeah, so it's possible that the events of episode 44 also could play out. So even though the spell would wear out, it is possible that Garmadon could sacrifice himself. So we're going to go with the option of Garmadon sacrificing himself. Season 5. It is possible that Moro could possess Wu's kid rather than Lloyd. And yeah, that is also assuming that Wu's kid becomes the Green Ninja, but then again, we don't know. Assuming that does happen, the events of Season 5 play out as normal, with Nia becoming the Water Ninja. Same goes for Season 6, which is also playing out as normal, and then Day of the Departed 2. And then, except, of course, in Day of the Departed, not all of the villains are resurrected. Of course, Cryptor never exists, Kozu never comes back, and yeah, I think that's it. Now, anyways, enter Season 7, which also goes the same. Wu is lost in time, but reappears a year later. Season 8 is different, though. The Sons of Garmadon could potentially exist, since Garmadon is dead. But Harumi wouldn't be leading them, since obviously the Great Devourer never existed, and never killed, Harumi's parents. But I think it's, this is where, of course, there are a lot of different options. So let us say that the Sons of Garmadon do exist, hunt down the Oni masks, resurrect Garmadon, then Season 9 would happen, and then the Oni are gonna come. But if the Sons of Garmadon don't exist due to Harumi not leading them, Sons of Garmadon and Hunted do not exist, but the Oni are still coming. So yeah, that's gonna wrap this up. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed these kinds of videos, please let me know. You can feel free to suggest more topics for what if videos, and I love doing these kind of videos. Thanks for watching. I will see you next time.